Just as Peter was faced with his fear of stepping out of the boat, we, as members of First Presbyterian Church, can also experience fear of giving of our talents, our time, of taking on new responsibilities, and of increasing our giving. We must trust that God is always with us in success and in failure. All of us can grow in our faith, and all of us can gain confidence in stepping out of the boat. As part of my duties as a music teacher and a drama teacher, I often was faced with opportunities to select students to have roles in plays, to sing solos, to perform speeches. And many students are aware of their abilities and talents, yet there are many of us who have not discovered in what we excel. I've always been very thankful to have had opportunities to give students chances to get their feet wet in new endeavors and watch them learn to be successful doing difficult things. I'd like to share a story with you that made a huge impression on my life and my teaching. As part of my music education graduate work, I did an internship in the Governor Moorhead School for the Blind. I taught music classes, choral classes for students in kindergarten through high school. One kindergarten class is still vivid in my memory, as is one special student named Mark. Mark was about 5 years old. He was totally blind and severely developmentally delayed. He talked very little and had great difficulty moving. He was in a wheelchair most of the time. One day in a rather small class where I had students sitting on the floor in a circle, all of these students were not sighted. They were blind and had various health issues as well. And as I directed them, I sat at the piano and we sang. And we were working on folk tunes at this time. And one of the very favorites of the crowd is Take Me Out to the Ball Game. So oftentimes I would ask students as part of the class if they wanted to come up and sing alone, to try out singing solos. And some of them enjoyed that, and several of them would come up one at a time, and they would just be so excited about themselves and about their success at getting up by themselves and singing. So one particular time in the class, now remember these students cannot see, but they said to me, "Miss Kraemer, Mark wants to come sing with you." And I thought, oh my, how did they even know that? Because they couldn't see. So they hushed each other. All of a sudden they were telling each other, shh, 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 shh. And finally, we began to hear that Mark was slowly trying to get up with great difficulty to the standing position, and slowly Mark made his way to the piano. Well, I was stunned, but I tried not to show it. Because believe it or not, even though people cannot see, they can tell what's going on with all of us. And so when Mark got to the piano, I said, "Mark, would you like to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game?" He nodded his head. So I gave him an introduction on the piano, and he began to sing loud and clear. Now, none of us had heard him sing in the group before. And so for me, that was his first time. For the rest of the students, they hadn't heard him sing either. Well, we could tell how much he was enjoying himself. He was just the picture of joy. And the rest of the story is that Mark continued to love to sing. He loved music, any kind of music. And he was invited to be in the Governor Moorhead School talent show, singing, you guessed it, Take Me Out to the Ball Game. It was a wonderful, happy time for all of us that knew Mark. We had some trouble getting him to leave the stage because he was having such a fun time. I have many wonderful memories of students who took the plunge in performing alone in plays with fear, recitals, and speaking contests. Each were challenged and courageous. Each of them began to learn that it took hard work and consistent preparation to be successful. Like Peter, who stepped out of the boat to walk with Jesus. As we give thought to our own opportunities as members of First Presbyterian Church to grow, to reach out, to take leaps of faith, help us all to be willing to stretch. We will be blessed with many rewards.